What up, friends? My name is Junje. I'm a music producer and DJ from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I'm currently living in my van full-time in Las Vegas, Nevada. But today, I'm leaving Las Vegas, and I ain't coming back for a while. So I've had my van parked around Vegas for the last 5 months, but now it's June, it's 10:30 a.m., and it's already 103 degrees outside here in Vegas. My plan was always to bounce between Las Vegas and California, depending on where my work opportunities were. So I'm gonna be heading to the coast near Santa Monica, where it's much cooler. So it's pretty much perfect timing. I'm getting out of the heat, I'm going to California, I'm gonna be on the coast of Santa Monica, and I'll be close to LA so I can work on my music. Right now, I'm sitting in a Costco parking lot. I just stopped and got gas because it's a little bit cheaper than anywhere else, but cheap is relative nowadays. I think the average price of gas in Vegas is like $5.30 to $5.50, but with a Costco membership, it was $5.05. Still terrible, but saving a couple cents where I can. I'm pretty sure gas is like $6 to $7 in California, so I'm definitely not excited about that. So now that I'm all fueled up, I'm gonna head into Costco, grab a few snacks for my 4-hour road trip, and then hit the road. All right, so instead of snacks, I got ice for my Icy Breeze AC. Hopefully, the last time I have to buy ice for this thing for a while, because it's like only 70 in Santa Monica, which is gonna be awesome compared to my 103 here in Vegas. But this Icy Breeze is my solution to not having AC in the van. Because a couple weeks ago, when it got really hot, I tried to turn my AC on in the van, and the knob was melted basically to the dashboard, and when I tried to turn it, it cracked right off. And I also got a rotisserie chicken. That's it. Ice and chicken. No snacks. Couldn't really find anything I want. Wasn't a great idea to shop at a bulk store for a couple snacks. Also, I know you can generally get stuff in bulk for a little bit cheaper at places like this, but this bag of ice that's double the size of the other bags of ice that I get at a regular store was the same price. Hopefully, I won't have to be buying ice anymore, so it doesn't really matter. So what's the plan here? Honestly, I don't really have much of one. But what I'm gonna do is head to Santa Monica, which is about a half hour outside of LA, and pretty much just scope out the town, see what makes sense. For the next couple months, I'm just gonna be hanging out at the beach and hopefully DJing some places in LA. That's the plan. Like I said, not much of one, but we'll see how it goes. If it doesn't work out, I can drive my house somewhere else. But for now, I'm gonna eat some of this chicken and then get on the road. All right, we are ready to go. I got my Icy Breeze filled up right here. Pointing that bad boy right at me while we're driving. It's estimating about 4.5 hours. That should get me there right about 5 o'clock. I imagine it's gonna be a little bit closer to 5:30, 6 o'clock because I drive slow. But between 5 and 6 is our estimated time. So nothing else to do but hit the road. Let's do it. Couldn't find any snacks that I wanted at Costco, but then I remembered I had peanuts in the van already. So we got a nice little road trip snack. There you go. Not listening when you say goodbye. All right, y'all, I made it. It took me a little over 5 hours. Like I said, I'm a slow driver, I was taking my time. The van's not great going up hills, so I had to slow it down a little bit, but we made it. Found a really good place to park. So the spot is free from 6 p.m. to 9 a.m. It's got an awesome overlook of the beach below. It's got bathrooms and a water fountain right nearby. And it also has steps to go down to the beach. So I went down, checked out the area a little bit. It's pretty foggy, so I didn't really get to see much. Hung out for about a half hour, and then I walked back up the steps, which was pretty brutal, actually. But now I'm back in the van. I'm gonna cook some dinner, and then tomorrow I'm gonna explore the town. So I'm gonna get up bright and early and get started. See you then. Good morning. I slept a little bit longer than I wanted to because it was just beautiful weather. It literally feels like a fall day right now. This was like the first time in 3 weeks that I even used a blanket. So that alone was definitely worth the 5-hour drive out here to the coast. So I got a lot that I want to do today. Basically, like I said, I want to scope out the entire area to see where the best places to go food shopping are, the closest gyms, the best places to park. I'm just going to spend some time figuring all that out. We're just going to go with the flow today. All right, so I'm back at the van. Overall, pretty productive day. I started off with going to Starbucks because it was pretty close, but when I got there, it was super crowded, and I was looking around for some plugs by some seats that I could sit down at, and there were only like 2 that I could see, and obviously they were both being used. Next spot to try was Panera Bread. Pretty crowded, but there was a lot of space, and I'm pretty sure every seating spot had an outlet next to it. It was kind of far, so I am gonna have to find a place a little bit closer for the future. After Panera, I drove back to the beach area to check out more of the parking situation. But what I'm finding out is that Santa Monica is known for the ridiculous signs that they have posted for parking. There'll be a sign that says no parking between 3 and 7 p.m. on a Tuesday, and a 3-hour limit on a Saturday, and no parking at all on a Sunday. So you really just have to stare at every single sign and just really understand exactly what the rules are of that particular spot, because they're all different. So I ended up finding one that was a 2-hour time limit, but it was free. So I pulled over there, made some dinner, hung out for a little bit, and then I drove back to the same spot that I was in last night. Once I parked the van for the night, I headed out on foot to explore the rest of Santa Monica. So I just headed towards the pier. But before I got to the pier, I saw signs for Muscle Beach, so I passed the pier and ended up checking out Muscle Beach. I was caught off guard because there were a lot of swings and families just kind of hanging out. Although I do think there's another section a little bit closer in the Venice Beach area that has actual like weightlifting machines and things like that. And I think you actually have to have a membership to get to that one. The one that I went to looked like a big playground. After checking out Muscle Beach, I headed over to the pier. As I got closer, I was getting more and more underwhelmed with what I was seeing. Everything was close together, and I walked around in about 5 minutes. Also, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I took Route 66 from the east to the west to get out here. And I knew that Santa Monica was the official end of Route 66, but I completely forgot until I saw the sign on the pier. After looping around the entire pier and seeing pretty much everything, I decided to head back to the van. So that was my day. Not super eventful, but I do feel a little bit better about being in Santa Monica. I always get a little anxious coming to a new spot and kind of figuring out how everything's gonna work. And that's how I was in Vegas when I first got there in January. But after about a week or so, I got into a routine, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen for me in Santa Monica as well. If you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Make sure you're subscribed here. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Also, make sure you're heading over to my Instagram, @JungeOfficial, so you can follow me over there. All right, y'all. Thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.